the man who plays Batman, or excuse me, Bruce Wayne as a young child, David Mazouz. Come on out. What's going on, man?
It's good. How you guys doing? No. How you guys doing? There you go.
How was the flight in? Was it all right?
It was actually pretty terrible. I took a red eye, and I got in at like 6 a.m. I landed at like 6 a.m. Yesterday morning, so I was pretty tired.
Did you get a chance to check out anything in Cincinnati while you were here, or you kind of went to the hotel, went to sleep, get ready for the day?
I mean, because of the flight, it kind of messed me up when I slept most of yesterday. But I did get a chance to walk around this area. My hotel's near here, and so it's a beautiful, beautiful city.
Excellent. Well, we're certainly glad to have you, aren't we?
Yeah.
All right, excellent.
Thank you guys for coming.
So let's get into some of the basics before we get into what's going on with Gotham. Just for the people that don't know, let's get into how you got into acting. My understanding is your sister got you into it.
Yeah, I mean, long story short, when I was about 5, my sister's 3 years older than me. So when I was about 5, my sister was about 8. She really wanted to do classes, so I just did whatever she did because she was my older sibling, you know. And we took classes for about 2-3 years every Sunday, gave my mom a chance to go to Costco, and we just liked it. It was really fun. And one of the classes, my commercial agent saw me at a showcase, and so I started doing commercials, and then that led to me doing theatrical auditions, and so one thing kind of led to another.
Excellent. Now she's still in high school, or?
No, she actually just went to college.
Excellent. All right.
Her first day was Thursday.
Are we going to see her in any movies or pictures anytime soon?
She's pretty busy with like school and stuff.
Okay.
But she did a lot of plays and stuff like that.
Now I read somewhere that you have like because you're obviously a young actor, but you have kind of a trust fund, and the money's being held till like 18. Does that sound right?
Yeah. Well, the majority of the money, is just like a regular account. But then there's a thing called a Coogan account, which was hence the name. It's like a certain percentage of the money. Nobody can touch it until I'm 18.
Man, I gotta tell you something. You have any idea when you get it, what the first thing you're gonna buy? With the lottery, dude. Like like a Lamborghini, Porsches. What are you gonna buy? Big giant house.
Somewhere in that family. Yeah.
All right. Now, when you knew you were getting the part of Batman, my understanding is they bought you a Batman encyclopedia. You've read it like twice, or something like that.
Yeah, it's exactly what you just said. It's a Batman encyclopedia where you can literally look up any character, any place, anything at all in the Batman mythos, and it's just there. So it's great to have. I mean, I still use it today when they introduce a new character. They're like, oh, is that made up to Gotham, or is that a thing? I'll look it up.
Well, when you were designing, your version of Bruce Wayne, what was your inspiration? Because, there've been older adult versions, but there hasn't been one this young.
Yeah, well, sorry, I'm still tired.
You're good, man.
I started a total brain fart. Okay, so, I really found out, the thing is, with acting, you have an audition, and you get the script, and you don't really have notes, you just kind of have a scene, and you interpret it the way you interpret it, and if you get the job, that means you interpreted it correctly. So, obviously I did, and so I kind of went with that, but, in the long run, the writers helped me, and then when I booked the job, I did as much research as I could. Comic books, movie, Adam West television, everything, and I just the majority of my inspiration came from the writers, who are absolutely brilliant, and then the other little bit came from different things that I thought would really work well from other incarnations of the character.
Now this year, first of all, I know you all saw the first episode of Gotham, which was just awesome, was it not?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
This year, I heard you in another interview session say that Bruce Wayne is going to be kind of a playboy this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what the writers kind of explained to me was that when Bruce Wayne's Batman, he does that fake playboy party boy persona so well. I mean, he's so good at it. Was it ever a reality for him? And so that's what that question is what we're gonna be experimenting with towards the middle of the season. It's we haven't really shot that stuff yet, so I can't tell you. I don't even know that much about it. We're only filming episode 8 right now. So in about 6.5 weeks, you'll be seeing on TV what we're shooting right now, which is kind of funny. So yeah, but I mean, it should be really fun.
And you and Alfred is going to be a different dynamic between you two. He's kind of like supporting you now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think their relationship has gone through so many different phases, and I think at this point in the series, they're really equals, and they're beyond that. They're partners, and they're in this together. And he's not that kind of the protective father anymore, and Bruce is kind of the rebellious child. That they're kind of moving away from that relationship, and it's becoming more. Oh, phone's ringing. They're kind of becoming more of a team.
All right, excellent. And also, as we explore that, this year, my understanding is we're also going to see kind of a darker Bruce Wayne. Is that right?
Yeah, always. I mean, when you think of a dark person, I think a lot of us, including me, would think of Batman. And so you need to build up to that. Bruce has to continually be getting darker and darker so that eventually he can put on the cape.
Now, were you going to be taking on some major opponents this year? Going to be doing some things a little different? Like Bruce Wayne is actually going to be taking on these opponents? Is that...
Yeah, I mean, I think that one of the great things, as you guys saw in the first episode of the premiere, and towards the end of last season, Bruce is really the only person at this point that realizes the potential threat of this secret council, who he will eventually learn to be the Court of Owls. And so he's taking them himself on head on. He's that didn't make any sense, but he's taking them on head on. Sounds weird, but is that grammatically correct?
No, it comes out fine. What's interesting about it is, if you watch that first episode where he's there with the board, I mean, he's really boss there. He's kind of laying it down. Like, listen, I know some of you people are doing something. You better, you said 24 hours thing? You got 24 hours to come to me, So it's really bossy. It was just a very strong person. It was just cool seeing.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it was so much fun to shoot. I read that scene and I was like, this is going to be fun. And that was actually my very first day back on season 3. That set's horrible. It's a beautiful set, and I love the way it looks on TV. But it's in the middle of it's downtown New York at the right next to the World Trade Center. And it just sucks because it's on the 40th floor or something ridiculous like that, and you can't bring water or anything, and it sucks. But yeah. That's just my little rant.
Now, I don't know if you're allowed to give anything away, which I'm sure you're not, but for example, in that first episode, the guy with the finish, he looked like he had fins or something. Is that Killer Croc?
Maybe.
Okay, and the guy that Miss Vale was looking at, she took a picture of, with the wings, is that Man-Bat?
Possibly.
All right, you gotta love the comic booky tone. I mean, it's pretty cool. Well, let's talk about your relationship with Jim Gordon. It seems like he's kind of like a bounty hunter almost this season so far. He's kind of operating outside of the law, and I feel as if Bruce is going to learn from that, and then potentially that could lead to, part of the reason why he's doing the Batman thing.
Right. I mean, I think. Very good observation, but I think definitely, and Bruce is going to be taking inspiration from everything. I think at this point, really, Bruce is a sponge, and he's looking around Gotham, and he's seeing everything that's going on, and everything is going to influence him to eventually putting on the cape and becoming the Cape Crusader. As we saw last year, he saw inspiration from Azrael with the cape and that kind of. Fantastical movements and stuff like that, and so I think everything that happens in the show, everything that happens in Gotham, Bruce is going to be looking at that, and it's going to be influencing some way him. It's going to be influencing him some way, in eventually,
Do you kind of have like a favorite? I know you probably get this question all the time, but I mean, do you have kind of like a favorite scene, a favorite thing an episode that you like? Like, which one did you like the best, do you think, or that's in your top 10?
For Bruce or the show in general?
For Bruce.
For Bruce, you know, there are a lot of moments that I just loved. I think one of my favorites is when Bruce comes in contact with and meets in person Matches Malone, otherwise known as the man who killed his parents. And I think that is because up until that point, for the first year and a half of the show, even more than that, Bruce has been focused on one thing: finding his parents' killer. And now that that kind of got out of the way, ever since then, he's kind of been focusing on fixing Gotham in general. But at that point, he realized that the thing he's been obsessing about for the last just broke that. The thing he's been obsessing about for the last year and a half does not give him the satisfaction that he thought it would, and I think it's a very transformative experience for him.
Excellent. Well, I mean, you probably can't comment on this either, but I do have to ask you. I see you. You look great. And there happens to be this other character on the show who looks an awful lot like you with long hair.
I know, it's amazing casting. I can't believe they found somebody that looks so much like me.
I mean, wow, he looks like you, and he just, people are wondering who this person is. I have an idea.
Go ahead. Let's hear it.
My idea.
Okay.
I admitted I stole this idea. I got off the internet anyway. A theory is that it is Lincoln March. Oh, perfect timing. Now that's great TV, whoever did that.
Maybe.
All right, we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there.
All I'll say is that he's not purely from the comic books. There's a little mix of inspiration from other storylines in the books, and then there's a little mix of Gotham originality.
It seems to be a lot influenced by the Tim Burton Batman. I mean, did you watch that? Did you enjoy those?
I did. I love them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, now I really broke it. Sorry.
No, it's all good. I remember when, for those of you who do remember when it came out, I remember the long, huge lines that they had. It was all like around the building when that came out. I was there with my, Batman shirt on and everything. Have you got a chance to see the new the Batman movie? See Batman vs Superman? What'd you think of it?
I thought it was great. I mean, I really, really love Ben Affleck as Batman. I think he's doing a wonderful job.
Do you have a favorite? I mean, you got Adam West. I mean, you got Christian Bale.
There's so many amazing actors to choose from. I think I couldn't pick a favorite because they're all just so different. I mean, if you look at you look at Adam West next to Christian Bale, it's like yeah, they're both playing Batman, but they're just so different in terms of personality. I think my favorite in terms of inspiration would be Christian Bale because he really brings that intensity to the role that that's what I'm trying to go for.
How's your life changed since now that you're this character? I mean, you said you were down here in Cincinnati. I mean, can you walk outside? I mean, what's it like?
Yeah, I can walk outside. I mean, my life has changed tremendously, mainly because of the fact that my home is LA. That's where I'm from, and the show shoots in New York, and so I didn't fully move, but I kind of did for the show, and so that was a major change in my life. And also beyond that, I have all these fans now, which I didn't have a couple years ago, and it's great. I mean, it's a wonderful experience for me. I've been having the time of my life.
Have they given you any clues as far as I know the writers try to keep things tight so that when you do go to panels like this, you don't blurt things out. You know what I mean? But obviously Bruce Wayne's very young. I mean, are we going to maybe towards when it's all over see him just go? Are we ever gonna see Batman? Remember with Smallville, it was like no flights, no tights, that whole thing. You know, are we ever gonna? Although we did eventually see flights and tights, but I mean, are we ever gonna see that? Have they ever given you any clues? Maybe we see that, or they don't know yet.
I don't know yet. I'm not. I don't think they even know yet. I think it really just depends on, you know, what I look like in a couple years. You know, I think it depends on how long the show goes. There's so many people involved. There's producers, you know, like executive producer, Fox, Warner Brothers, studio, network. There's like so many teams of people that are involved in what happens in the show. That to give you a completely honest answer, I have no idea.
Speaking of getting older, it's interesting. Y'all saw the episode where Poison Ivy went into that thing. I mean, what'd you think about it? I'm presuming next week we're going to see her kind of as an adult. What'd you think about when they told you they were going to do that, just make her all of a sudden an adult?
I mean, I'm a huge fan of the comic books. Mm-hmm. Huge fan. I mean, I wasn't before the show started, but because I picked up a bunch of comic books as research, and then I just became like a massive fan, and now I read them for pleasure, not for research anymore. But you know, I love the idea of whenever there's anything that's, you know, hinting towards the Batman, you know, mythology that we know from the books. I love it, and so when they said they were going to make a Poison Ivy that's more like what we know from the comic books, I loved it just because, you know, of what I said before.
Well, you talk about, I heard a lot of actors say, hey, you know, I'm doing research. When you're doing your research, are you looking for like key things, key phrases, key emotions? Like, what are you looking for as you're developing your own version of the character? I
mean, I'm looking for personality mostly, just figuring out, you know, who he is, you know, figuring out, I mean, everything. I mean, first of all, I just want to know more about the world that I'm going to be stepping into, more about who the people are, what the places are, and at the same time, I also want to know who Bruce is and who Batman is and what their mission, one person, what his mission is in Gotham and why he decides to put on the cape and things like that, character things, but also at the same time, key phrases, key emotions, like you said. I mean, I'm really looking at it all.
What's the most difficult part about playing the role, if there is even one?
I think the most difficult part is also intertwined and is the same as the most exciting part, and that is the fact that I'm stepping into, when the show started, a mythos, a world that has been existing for 75 years prior, and that comes with a lot of responsibility and a lot of fans that are built-in fans that you know, might not like the show, as opposed from starting from scratch, which that has its blessings and that has its pressure also. And so, but I mean, that's the thing that keeps me on my toes. So that's that I'm very thankful for. And I mean, I think I really realized the fact that we were, you know, going into something that was much larger than any other, you know, Joe Schmo show. When we went to Comic-Con for the first year, and there were all these people that were San Diego, there were all these people that were so excited to meet us and get our autographs, and I was like, you haven't even seen the show yet. All you've seen is a 2-minute trailer. What if you don't like it? Like, you could hate it. And I realized, you know, they're getting our autographs because we're stepping into these characters that they already know and that they already love. And so, you know, I was, then I was like, I should make sure I'm doing this right. And but the fan reaction has been overwhelmingly positive, and that's what, you know, that's why we do it. And so I'm really, really thankful to you guys. So.
Well, that's very cool, very cool. You know, this audience right here, as Stan Lee would say, you're talking to the true believers. So, you know, we're all kind of family here, so it's all good. He's got to go soon, so I'm going to ask him a couple more questions, but if you guys do have questions, you can go up to the microphone and you can ask a question that you might want to ask him, so just go ahead and line up there. What's it like filming? Because you have a lot of stars in that show, a lot of good characters, and a lot of stars. You know, what's it like being around some of these veteran actors?
I mean, it's amazing. I think our casting people are phenomenal on the show. Everybody is so perfect for their role. We have some really, really great people that I learn from all the time. You know, I work with Sean a lot, who plays Alfred, and he's just amazing. He's the nicest guy, and he's also just a fantastic actor. And I love it. I feel so blessed to be a part of this, besides this world, but it's part of such a wonderful, wonderful cast.
Excellent. All right. Say your name and ask your question.
Hey.
My name is Daniel. I'm a big fan. I've watched every episode since day one.
Thank you.
My favorite question is my favorite actor on the show is Benjamin McKenzie.
Great.
He's a great actor.
Yeah.
And, I've watched him all through every show he's been on. My question is what have you learned from Benjamin McKenzie as an actor?
I mean, so much. He's a really, really wonderful guy. I think I really learned some great leadership qualities because he really is the leader of our show. He's the captain of our ship, and he does it so well. And I think I really learned a lot of, but also just working alongside him, just learning from example. I mean, he's really great. Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right.
Hello, Trevor. First, I was going to mention if in the future, if you still need to do more research on the Batman, there is a book called The Philosophy of Batman that was printed that you could probably find on Amazon that'll give you a mindset of why he does the things he does from a philosophical point of view.
Wow.
Interesting.
But the question I come up with is, understanding that Gotham has been rewritten on its origins, much like an Earth 5 variant at this point, accepting that, who do you want to see make an appearance in some of the futures that's coming up that hasn't already been established?
It's a great question. I would love to see Harley Quinn. I would love to see, yeah. Hopefully the writers see this. I would love to see, I'm super excited for the Mad Hatter, because if you had asked me that question a year ago, I would for sure say the Mad Hatter, but he's coming. He will.
Which Mad Hatter, if you can tell? Because there's like 3 versions.
I didn't even know that.
Gotham is coming out with Jervis Tetch, who's very, very cool. And yeah, I have to go with Harley Quinn.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
My name's Mandy, and my favorite thing about the show is how far back it starts, and I was just curious to see which character you were most excited to see develop starting that early on.
Oh, that's a great question. I think my favorite development in the show has been that of Edward Nygma. I think
Good one.
Yes.
Answer.
Yes.
I mean, first of all, the fact that Corey Michael Smith is just a phenomenal actor. I look at him every episode and I'm like, wow. But that slow. I mean, reading the comic books, I had no idea. Like, he's not that crazy psychopath, schizophrenic guy that he is in the show, and I think Corey does it so well. And just that slow burn into insanity, and what can make a person tick is just. I thought that was psychologically just brilliant on the writer's part.
I think that's a great answer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Paul.
Hey, Paul.
I was here last year. I met Robin Lord Taylor and got to ask him some questions. How do you think about the age difference in you and the villains that compares into the comics?
Yeah, well, I think in the comics they're all around the same age, Bruce and the villains, but probably wouldn't be the best show if it's a show full of kids. So so I think we kind of had to age up some of the people. But at the same time, showing Bruce's real evolution into how he starts out being a rich boy who lost his parents into Batman. But you do what you have to do.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Paul.
buddy.
Hi, my name's Phil.
Hey.
Thanks for your dedication to the character first.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate it. As a young person, and I'm sure you have friends that are Batman fans or fans of the show. How much difficulty do you have hiding spoilers from them?
Well, usually if they, well, actually, most of my friends like watching it, and so they don't want me to, I'll try to give them spoilers just because they don't. But they actually don't, so it's not very hard. Yeah, one of my friends just kicks me whenever I try to say anything about the show. It kind of hurts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name's Carl, and
Hey.
I just wanted to kind of know, what's your favorite Batman villain?
Favorite Batman villain? This is probably such a generic answer, but I have to say it. The Joker. I mean, he's great. Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
He's
what's
great.
your favorite version of the Joker?
Okay. This is really tough.
Yeah, same.
I love Heath Ledger. But at the same time, I think I'm going to have to say The Killing Joke. Because,
He went comic book. All right.
I mean, like, that Joker was just insane. So, yeah, that's my answer.
Hi, my name's Lily. I'm myself am also an actress in like plays and stuff, but do you have any tips for like young actors who want to get into like movies or shows or anything like that?
Absolutely. I mean, I think the main thing, if you want to get into this industry, which is a cruel, terrible industry, but you know, if you think that you can do it, I think the main thing is that you have to know that no matter who you are, you're gonna get knocked down a ton, gonna get rejected a lot, and happens to everybody. And perseverance is key, and really to be determined and to always get back up again and not let it affect you. And don't take those kind of things too personally. I think that's the main thing. That's what I've learned in my experience.
As a person who acts, just real quick, do you have to, when you're memorizing your lines, do you have to memorize like every single word, like even and the? Like, do they get mad about that if you change anything? Like, how does that work?
I mean, it really depends on the production you're working on. Gotham is pretty lax about that kind of stuff. So if you want to change a word around or two, or you want to add, you know, someone's name or something like that. I mean, I think they're really cool about that. They don't, as long as you're not changing like the meaning of the line.
Right. Okay, just curious.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name's Rachel, and I was wondering how much of the fight scenes and stunts you get to do yourself.
I actually haven't had that many fight scenes. I think my first real choreographed fight scene was in the second half of season 2 with Sonny Gilzine. But I try to do as much as I can myself. Usually if I don't do it all myself, it's because of my minor hours and I have to leave. So they do sometimes they do the back with my stunt double, but I love it. I love doing stunt stuff, and I love, I really try to do it all myself because it's so much fun.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel.
Just real quick, just because he does have to get going soon, the gentleman back there, you will be the last person to ask the question, okay? All right, cool. All right, go ahead.
Hi, my name's Dale. I'm a super
Hey.
huge Batman fan. I have a
Thank
Harley
you.
Quinn tattoo. Anyway, Harry Potter too. Anyway, so did you know anything about Batman before you started the show?
I mean, I'd watched the movies. I'd only been alive for Christian Bale. I was 12 when I was auditioning for the show. But you know, I'd known kind of what the general public had known. You know, I knew Bruce Wayne was Batman. I knew some of the villains that were in the Christian Bale movies. But I really did full-on research when I had already booked the role.
Is that an owl mask all the way back there? That's like, oh, okay. I'm sorry. You just look super creepy, dude, that guy right there. Sorry. All right, sorry. Please ask your question, ma'am.
Hi, I'm Kathy, and I hope you don't mind if I don't ask a Gotham question, but I loved your
course.
work in Touch.
Thank you so
and
much.
I was so impressed. You were so young, and working with Kiefer Sutherland, I mean, that must have been a master class in itself, too. But I'm just curious, because I know the character was not meant to be autistic, but there were certain things about the character that really resonated with those of us who deal with autistic kids.
Right.
And I'm just wondering, you were so young, how did you prepare for that role?
I mean, thank you, first of all. That was an amazing experience. Yeah, I was really sad when it ended. But the character originally was supposed to be autistic, but I think they didn't want to have to deal with like the, continuity, and so they kind of made it later. But that was later on, I think, in the first season. The whole like first part of the show, he was autistic. But how did I prepare? What was that?
Go get him, Batman. Sorry, go ahead.
I think it's somebody's crying. Sorry. How did I prepare? Right. I watched a lot of videos on of autistic children, and there was also somebody there during the pilot who had close experience with working with autistic children, and she really helped me with characteristics. But I worked with Francis Lawrence, who directed the pilot, before we started shooting for a couple weeks, and he really helped me. And we did a lot of things that define the character. But also, it was like I said before, it was through the audition process that really helped. When you're going out for something, especially for a role that specific, you kind of interpret it yourself, and if you get the job, like I said, you interpreted it right. So I kind of went off that and went off my guess. And we did a lot of things. Like, for example, we in all of Jake's characters, in all of his sweatshirts, they put a hole for the thumb. So I always had thumbs like that. And in all of I always had 2 marbles that you never actually saw, but they were always there. And Jake kind of always went like that with the marbles. And also, Jake never bent his arm when he was walking. His arms would always be completely straight. And so there were things like that really helped. And also working alongside amazing people like Kiefer really helped. And yeah, I guess that's how I did it.
Yeah, brilliant. I was so excited when I saw that you were in Gotham, but for the first episode, there was like, wait, is that the same guy? He's talking.
That's what he sounds like.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, I'm amazed of how strong and powerful you are to be so young.
Thank you.
We're very grateful that you're in Gotham.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So are you having fun playing the dual role? What is that like?
Yes.
Yes?
I'm having a time of my life.
Well,
especially. What?
Tell us.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
especially being on the same set. I mean, here's the interesting thing. I've been talking a lot about how the audition process affects what you do in the role. And with this character, I didn't have that audition process. And so I kind of showed up on the first day shooting in season 3, and I was like, it was actually that scene, for those of you that saw the premiere, it was that scene with Ivy on the rooftop. I was like, so what do I do? Who is he? And it was hard. It was really tough to get that down without that trial process. And so, but being on the same set and having in the same day, oftentimes stepping into 2 completely different roles, because I'm sure as you kind of saw, you'll see a lot more of that in the coming episodes. He's completely different than Bruce. They walk differently. They talk differently. He's weird, and Bruce isn't so weird. But yeah, it's so much fun. It's so much fun just to step into a completely different role and just reimagine this new character.
Well, we're looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
How's it going? Hi. My question is, well, you're so young and, you're taking on this role and, you have a huge career ahead of you if you
Thank
choose
you.
to take it. In Gotham, will last as long as it is and you may or may not, don the cape. But, in your career post-Gotham, do you have either a specific character, be it superhero or anything, any character or franchise or director or that you really want to take on or work with?
Christian Bale, after he was done with Batman, went on to be Moses. That wouldn't be the worst thing. But to answer your question, not really. I mean, I always say I think an actor lives for interesting roles, and so anything that comes along that's just interesting and that really is a challenge, I would love to do.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you.
I saw his Flash shirt, so I got to ask you a question. I don't know if you know anything about this, but is there ever going to be any possibility, since we have like the multiverse,
Right.
that we could like have like, you know, you go over to like CW and they go over, like, you know, it'd be great if like, you know, the Flash showed up. I mean, is that, did they?
I mean, the Flash can travel through time now.
Yes.
You can go back in time. You can come to Gotham. I have no control over that. If it was my say, then it would already have happened.
Yes, that's what we want to hear.
But I have no idea. But hopefully.
All right, cool. All right.
Hopefully the writers will watch this.
Here is the last question. What's your name?
My name is Billy.
Billy, where you from?
Hey, Billy.
Here, Cincinnati, Ohio.
Here in Cincinnati. All right, Billy, here in Cincinnati is the last question. There you go, Billy. Let's go.
All right.
A lot of pressure on you.
Like, when Gotham is done and over, would you, like, when you're older, would you consider, like, doing, like, a Batman role? Like, if DC
Absolutely.
were to- Okay, yeah. And
Yeah.
also, can I get a picture with you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's very nice of you. $75.
I've always thought it would be interesting to have, like, once we're all older, to do like a Batman movie with all of us as our characters, but you know, the older version.
All right.
I always thought that'd be cool.
Folks, hey, let's give a round of applause. Thanks for coming to Cincinnati. Appreciate it. We'll all keep watching Gotham. We want to keep staying on the air. We love comic book movies. Again, thank you all.
Thank you, guys.